Hey YouTube, what's up? This is the Reluctant Nabi back again, and this is going to be some commentary on this is my impression of the Hillary Clinton news, I guess, cycle. All right, so first, let me greet everybody. Guten hola, hoy tudo bem, vasas los, bonjour mes amis, keruba wuni konnichiwa, ni hao ma, sani bonani, jambo habayagani, assalamu alaikum, shalom, and guten tag to my brother out in Deutschland, and congrats. All right, now, basically, this one is Hillary Clinton is really a feminist black woman. Why do I say that? Because she used the same deflection tactics for failure. Y'all get it? The exact same tactics for failure. What do we say about black women? We say they don't listen to no man. They don't need no man. They surround themselves with other good for nothing black women who also don't need no man. If they get a man, they pick the worst men in a group of men to be with and produce with, right? Um, they get thug element men. They get men that are no good to have around children. They get um, men that don't want to be fathers. This is black women, meaning that they don't want responsibility. All right. So they get men that don't want the responsibility of the family while forsaking those that cherish it. Right. Everything is about them and only them all of the time. You can't correct them. Right. You can't correct them. And when things go disastrously wrong in a way that they did not suspect, is because they suspect or expect everything to go their way, because that's what society is telling them. Then they deflect. Some of the deflection tactics is one is never their fault. All right. Two, they didn't do anything wrong. It was the people around them that did something wrong. Right? Three, um, it's the men. It's always the men. All right. And so these are some of the things that we look at when we talk about black women, right? Well, I found that the women running Clinton's campaign, and they always manipulate the truth. They cheat to give each other the edge. So black women will cheat a black man to give an edge to another black woman that don't really have the other woman's interests at heart, but to take down a man, yeah, she'll cheat, right? All these things, and this is reminiscent of Clinton. All right, she tried to take down men, and we'll deal with Comey, but I want to deal with Colin Powell for a moment. When her servers, when the server issue first came up, she tried to throw General Colin Powell under the bus. All right. Now, I'm going to tell you how bad it was. When these white people on MSNBC, CNN, and stuff like that was talking about him, General Colin Powell, Secretary of State Colin Powell, they only called him Colin Powell and Powell and Colin Powell and Powell, right? When they talk to white generals that retired as generals, they refer to them as general. When they talk to white Secretary of State, even Clinton, a white woman, Secretary of State, they refer to her as Secretary of State. All right. Um, when they referred to Condoleezza Rice, a black woman, well, she wasn't Secretary of State. All right. So basically, the black man that took us through Desert Storm and Desert Shield can't even call by the rank that he retired with when all the white people are. Now, he was Secretary of State. He can't be called and referred to Secretary of State either, even though he achieved that. I was listening to something that Cat Williams said, that if you're a black man, it don't matter what you achieve. You ain't going to get no accolades from the black woman or the white system. All right. So basically, that's that. Now, what I'm going to point out in this video is some of the things that happened to her, some of her deflection tactics. All right. And remember, she is black woman deflecting because she lost an election that the mainstream picked her to win by a lot. All right. And she lost for this reason, you know, by these reasons. These are the reasons her and the DNC gave for losing. All right. First reason. Hey, let me just remind you, y'all already know what to do, but take care of yourself and family first. Let's get them thumbs up. All right. And y'all know how to subscribe. Fake news. Yes, that's right. Fake news caused Hillary Clinton to lose. But I would like to add, so she's blaming fake news, right? And so I would like to add this comment by Ralph Benkel, a contributor, right? And you could look it up. It's about fake news. The left have been historically pushing a new meme, fake news, while ostensibly neutral in practice. It is substantially weaponized as another lame vector. So they weaponize everything to discredit, right? And so, like I pointed out in another video, that the people that had this right, even Michael Moore, but he was being snide, right? But the people that had this right are the people that people would consider fake news. But no, we were straight the whole time, right? Along with attacks on the Electoral College. Oh, the Electoral College is now at fault. Electoral College was okay when her husband won twice, but now something's wrong with that system, right? She attacks on the Electoral College to undermine the legitimacy uh, of the election of Donald Trump. Love Trump or hate him, he won, right? And he did win. Again, briefly, I'm going to explain the Electoral College. The reason why they set up the Electoral College, because everybody understands that a fully democratic society would be disastrous to anybody that made something of themselves. Because it'd be like crabs in a barrel, right? If somebody made wealth, a democratic society can take that wealth from them by simply the numbers, right? So they came up with the electoral system, which is a representative government. That's why you have three chambers, right? The judicial, you have the Congress, and you have the presidency. All right. So this is what you have. And the Congress is divided. The House is representative of the population of people in the state, and each state gets two senators. They have different responsibilities and rules. All right. The judicial system is the federal courts and the Supreme Court, which is garbage. The Supreme Court is always a garbage system. Nobody should be there for life. All right. But you have the federal courts and the Supreme Courts. All right. So that's the judicial. Judicial. So this is what you have. And the presidential, I should really say executive branch. So you have the executive branch, the judicial branch, and the congressional branch. All right, and so this is how this works. The number of delegates is determined by the number of House members you have, because it's done based on the population of the state. What this now forces you to do is go get that one vote in New Hampshire, one or two votes in delegates in New Hampshire, because first it puts you in the media if you win it. So you need those two. And in a close race, one delegate matters. So this wasn't close. But the delegates are representatives, so you have to go to each state. That system put more states in play for you to have to campaign in. But Clinton should know this, because her husband did so well. Oh, that's right. They refused to listen to him. These women, feminists in her party, refused to listen to the man that was telling her where she need to go campaign. Not only did they not listen, but again, I will reiterate, they laughed at him. The women laughed at him when he told her that she needed to go to the places she lost. And one place she didn't campaign in at all. I think it was Wisconsin or Wyoming. All right, but she didn't campaign in at all. Right? So, basically, she blew it. But, okay, it's fake news, right? That's at fault. Deflection number one. However, the fake news is the news that got it right. The fake news is the one that put out the WikiLeaks and the scandal. It's the fake news that put it out in its original form, the regular emails, PDF. So nobody doctored anything up that was putting out exactly what WikiLeaks was putting out. And we were talking about Julian Assange and WikiLeaks. And all the emails. And even the stuff from Donna Brazil and stuff like that. Right? So, fake news, really? The fake news was CNN, MSNBC, Fox, New York Times, Washington Post, Washington Times, anything in California, almost everything in New York, and all the rest of the papers all across the United States. The ones that they considered real news was actually the fake news. They were the actual ones lying. They were the ones that didn't get it right, and they're the ones that right now look sick. And CNN, I don't know how they recover, because they kind of have no credibility at all. All right? Reason number two, Comey. They're blaming James Comey. They're blaming him for doing his job. They're blaming the FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigations, for investigating. And even though he was pushed by Loretta Lynch to drop the investigation without investigating, all right, issues still come up, right? But basically, she lost so bad that he really didn't have nothing to do with her loss. So basically, the deflection is, it's this man's fault for doing his job. She's saying he's at fault for doing his job about her. That's like when you pointing out some evil that black women are doing, and then they turn around and blame the man that's pointing it out for black woman bashing. Oh, and here's a good thing. We have to do things in love, or here's the other good thing they come back with. We got to work together. You know, that's the black woman thing. We got to work together even though you just caught me doing something wrong. So we have to work together, right? All of a sudden now, when you refuse to work with me, right? And she refused to work with the FBI. And that's the typical black woman thing. I don't want to work with the black man. I don't want to work the black man. I want to throw him under the bus. I want to ruin his job, ruin his life. But when he calls me out and I see that I'm being embarrassed in public, I'm going to blame him and tell him that the problem is black men and black women need to work together. We need to work together in love. Black women ain't showed no love to black men for a minute, right? Same way that Hillary Clinton have never shown love for anybody doing investigations. See how that works? And then black women turn around and blame black men for their demise, even though the black women themselves, their choices and the things that they did are the direct cause of any demise that they have. But wait a minute. That's the same thing that happened with Clinton. She is the direct cause of the loss of the election, of the investigations, of everything that happens to her. But you know, this is why I'm saying she a black woman, y'all. She got to be. It's the same MO, right? Same MO. Okay, here's the other MO. The other MO. It's her turn to be president. She was promised. Do you know Joe Biden almost ran, but they said let her run. They wanted to push a woman up there even though she was not qualified. All right, but the newspapers pointed out that she was the most qualified. By the time I get done with this video, you will understand why I say she was the least qualified. People didn't pick Bernie, they blocked Bernie. The Democratic National Committee, run by women, blocked Bernie. They didn't want Joe Biden to run, right? Joe Biden would have beat Trump. And I think Joe Biden would have beat Bernie. All right. And Joe Biden would have been the most qualified to be president in that he was the vice president. But no, they didn't want him to run. So they could use she's the most qualified to be president. And she almost got beat by Bernie, who the Democratic Party made a concerted effort to block, right? Oh, why did they block him, though? Because it was her turn to be president. They wanted a woman to be president so bad that they didn't care about the quality of the woman that they picked to be president. That's like the black woman. She wanted to be the black man so bad and thinks that she is worthy to be the black man because the white man gave her a job. She don't think like a black man, even though she go get operations and surgeries to try to look like a black man. Inside, she will never be a black man, no matter what she gets cut off and sewn on, how much hair she grow. She will never be a black man. And when push come to shove, and the woman that she messing with need to be protected, she'll never be able to do it in a way that the black man can. You know, that's why they all got to get guns. Oh, but that's why all their children are dying. All the black children are dying. Abortion and single black mothers. Direct cause. The direct cause, 21 million blacks. And then the single black mothers that are responsible for raising all these hellions. All right? But They want a turn at being the head of something. The black woman says, it's my turn to be the man of the house. And then she raised her sons to be punks. She raised her daughters to be dykes or homosexuals and lesbians. All right. Well, this woman, same thing. She felt like she is owed leadership. The black woman feels like she is owed leadership. Even though they didn't do much to warrant being a leader. Every position they're in, they were placed there by some white man. Or some black man. Right? And so this is basically it. But they want to turn around and lead men. And they don't want to lead men. They want to corrupt a whole system. Oh, like the black woman want to corrupt the whole family. She want to corrupt the family, but then say she's the backbone of the family and the queen, while at the same time killing off the race. All right. At the same time as selling the country off from under the nose of everybody, killing off the country. All right. She still wanted to lead it so that she could do it more efficiently. You know, to get rich. Oh, another thing she has in common with black women. You know how black women will have a baby by a man that they don't want or like, so that they can put him on child support, so that she could live well off of his money, even though he ends up penniless and stuff. Why? Because she don't care. All she cared about getting rich. Same way this woman treated the country. It was getting rich off her Secretary of State while a whole lot of stuff was going on. And it was one international disaster after another international disaster. But she felt owed the presidency. Now, this one, in a report, Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump has been repeatedly critical and repeatedly criticized Hillary Clinton for her bad judgment and warned about the consequences of her top aide's husband online philandering. Trump warned Hillary Clinton about this man. Y'all are probably saying, what man am I talking about? Anthony Weiner, this man. All right, so basically, in short, it goes like this, and y'all can read this. All right, Hillary Clinton's top aide, confidant, combined at the hip, friend, maybe lover, I don't know, but Uma Abedin, right? Anthony Weiner is her husband. How did the FBI stuff get open again? Well, they're tagging him because Anthony Weiner, a man picked by these women that's running stuff, so this is decision making, right? And this is black women's decision making. She picked a man that's sending out sex pictures to a 15-year-old. Which is how and he was doing it on a computer that had emails from the Clintons. And they saw this. They saw that evidence as they were looking for evidence on him and the pictures on the computer that he was using that he was sending to the 15-year-old. All right. So basically, this is what opened the investigation back up and then sealed it again. Well, it opened it back up, but then Loretta Lynch sealed it again. Right? So this is what happened. So Here's the Magnificent Four. Anthony Weiner, the potential pedophile who was married to the closest confidant, abetting Hillary Clinton herself, who's to blame. Then she blamed James Comey. Oh, she didn't blame herself, right? She blamed James Comey, right? And got help from Loretta Lynch, right? Who stopped James Comey's investigation. Had she not halted the investigation, maybe she would have been past all this a couple of months ago, and maybe stuff didn't have to come out when they looked at this man sexting to a 15-year-old. Or, yeah, sexting, they call it now. All right? False sense of security, right? Everybody knew Hillary Clinton just was going to win, right? People not trusting the FBI because of how Hillary and Bill dealt with people that, dealt with them in truth. So you got James Comey, she's guilty as hell, but I don't want nobody, I don't want to die suddenly and mysteriously. So that's a meme somebody put up. He didn't actually make that quote, right? And so this is basically it. She don't need no black man. Just like a black woman, she don't need no black man. All these churches that she went to were run by women, where the woman was the pastor and had a bunch of women in it, even women praising her. Look at them black women praising this white woman. And then these same black women are going to tell a man not to get a white woman, but they're praising her. Think about it. These black women were in the tank for Hillary. It's the black men that peeled off, right? But all these black women that voted for Hillary, following this white woman, will tell the black man, well, they could follow the white woman, but don't us marry or screw one. All right, we even got ignorant brothers up here trying to tell men who they can talk to and who they can't. All right, and so in closing, I would like to say this. As qualified as people thought she was never a qualified candidate. For this reason alone, she is the first candidate in history to be running for president while under investigation for national security crimes. How's that for being the first person ever? But it's a woman, so we'll give the woman a first. The first candidate in history to be running for president while under investigation for national security crimes. And she had a following, right? To all the black women that's trying to tell black men don't get with a white woman, y'all got with a white woman, look where it got you. No, look where it got that white woman, because half y'all didn't vote. And now y'all mad about the outcome. Oh, and your Pookies and Ray Rays and your little thuglets, they didn't vote either. They was too busy thugging. Oh, you know who voted for Trump twice as many as voted for other Republicans? The black men. Why? Because we tired of y'all just like everybody else is tired of y'all. But this is it. This is why I say deep down inside, Hillary Clinton is a black woman. She's corrupt, don't care about her community, will exploit her community for money. When she gets caught exploiting her community for money and the evidence is shown, then she'll blame first the messenger, then she'll blame the person that rounded up the evidence and presented the evidence. Even though it's factual, she'll blame them, right? And flip the script and say that they're the liars. because they're telling the truth. Y'all get that? They're the liars because they're telling the truth, right? All these deflection tactics are the same as the modern day black woman. That's why I say Hillary Clinton, like her husband, they consider Bill a black president. Yep, she's a black woman. With that said, I'm out. Hey, brothers and sisters, what's going down? I just wanted to end it as I played with the child with his little car like this. That everybody in with that liberal ideology is going to hit that wall. Period. It just is what it is. All right. So with that said, I'm out.